welcome back, Fox Lovers, to another video, and today we're gonna be playing a game called Higurashi When They Cry, and yeah, this is a game based off of, well, no, this is like, this is a game that's like, has an anime as well. This is an old game, I don't know how old, but this is an old one. We're only gonna be playing chapter 1 because, like, that's, the free one. Chapter 1 is free. For When They Cry. But yeah, we're gonna be playing that. The anime was cool also. It's like I liked the anime. But like, I guess we should start. Hold up. Do that. Welcome to the world of Higurashi When They Cry. The Onikakushi arc will be the opening inviting you into this world. Don't play whatever that word is. Please just enjoy life in Hinamizawa to the fullest. The difficulty is extremely high, but I hope you will enjoy the reward. Okay. If you guys don't know what When They Cry is about, it's about, okay. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if the world will not forgive you. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if the world will not forgive the world. So please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual person? Okay. AD, the early summer of okay. If I was going to be ripped apart anyway, having my body ripped apart would have been far better. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself in such a silly sobbing voice. And those tears, that mechanical sound finally showcased. Only the cry of the cicadas remained annoyingly loud, and yet I felt as if I could still hear her voice, but that's not possible. She is no longer speaking. The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion because there were none to show. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't. Then why this pain, my eyes getting moist? Why was this happening? I still wanted to believe. I hadn't been, okay. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. My spirit had suffered enough. And countless times I had wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away, except I stubbornly refused. Okay. I'd feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate. Hey, me. I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So, isn't it alright to just take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind with her. Like flowers by a grave. Now then, calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm, just lift it up. And with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. I loved how immersive you were. Because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Okay. Perhaps I really did love you. Okay. He's speaking. Higurashi when they cry. Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. I wonder what she's apologizing for. Oh, well. I'm gonna quickly, like, if you guys don't know what Higurashi when they cry is, it's about, this group of people who are, I think, in middle school. I am not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure they're in middle school, and they live in like this town called Higurashi, I think. And the town is apparently cursed on this one festival day. The day is like a festival and stuff. Either one person or like a group, or like I don't really know how much people, but like either someone dies or someone disappears on that day. So yeah, and apparently there's like this disease or something like that that makes everyone go crazy. So they start killing each other and stuff. That's what I remember from the anime I've watched. This is cause like this is the original game. I'm pretty sure this came out because there's like a old anime of Higurashi when they cry. I haven't watched that one. I watched the 2019 one, I think. But yeah. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I had last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Oh, and like, what happened was there's this character that's like reliving the same days over and over again. Like when she dies, she restarts from a point in time. So like all the episodes to the show don't make any sense because it shows some episodes where like one thing happens and then the next episode just completely ignores what happened before. And then like once I watched like the whole show, I understood now. So yeah, it's probably not gonna show it that early here because this is just the first chapter. But even though I'd lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. Those skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads. The melodious cacophony of the crosswalk. Even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts? I don't know what that is. And the babbling of brooks. And the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than make me feel lonely, that quietness had begun to install a sense of serenity. There is nothing where I am living now. I don't just mean there aren't any burger joints. There aren't even there aren't even vending machines. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. Even an ice cream parlor would be unlikely. The nearest town had some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. I come to think of it, it wasn't really a big deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. I had lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlor. I should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody is still apologizing. Who is she apologizing to? She's apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. I don't like this because like the screen is doesn't go in full screen, so I have to look at it like this. It just covers up like a tiny square of my screen. You just need to be more careful next time. She's still apologizing even now. Then has she really done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. I think I know what's happening. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey, you. The one she's apologizing to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice. Keiichi, we're almost there. Wake up. I was finally aroused from my nap when my father prodding. Okay. Keiichi. The art looks kinda sus. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. We'd spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window and the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No, that they were even from the same era. Yeah. From there, we'd take a car deeper into the mountains. Higurashi has like an adoption agency and other stuff. So like it has a lot of good stuff. It has a shop. Has houses. Has a school which is like not even that big. Past where the dense forest encroaching on the mountain road suddenly opened up. There's a second season to Higurashi, but I just haven't watched it yet. Oh, look at this town. Look at this. There, where I live now. Hinamizawa. Well, that's the name of the freaking, that's the name of the city, but whatever. Higurashi's the name of the game. Whatever. The name of the city. Himizawa. Whatever. Higurashi when they cry. Doing the anime transition thing that they do. This is Keiichi's house. Even though we were approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although in exchange, you could fill your lungs up with crisp, clean air. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. The neighboring house was far away on the other side. So like this is the beginning. Because in the anime I've watched, it's like already none of this happened. Like it didn't show him moving there. It just showed him already there, talking about that he moved there and stuff. And he was like already had friends and stuff there, so so I was probably the only one enjoying that view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. I wonder if Hinamizawa is a real place. I'm gonna have to look that up and add it to like my list of places I'm gonna visit in Japan. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably up working until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. It's such a laid-back profession. But did he paint all this? Like, this is, it just shows all this right here. Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. It was just because it looked easy. I'd never tell him that though. Well, painting is not easy. To me anyway. I'm mostly good at drawing, I guess. That's not because I don't paint. Painting's different from drawing. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. Why raw? Raw eggs are what? Seaweed, pickled vegetables, and raw egg. Not even like raw eggs. There's just one raw egg there. And like, why is it raw? Like, why don't you cook the eggs and grilled salmon? My mom was such a good cook. It was scary. A perfect immaculate ideal breakfast. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. It seemed like she was in a good mood today. I'm so happy you've been waking up early since we moved here, Keiichi. Keiichi? If I don't wake up early, I won't have time to eat breakfast. Though I was being cute, responding with a wise crack after being praised for being good. Full bowl of rice, or will half be enough? Pile it on. First, I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that, I covered it with the egg. Between bites of rice, I enjoyed the crunch of the pickles. Not bad at all. Excellent as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mom gave me a warm smile. I'm so happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here, Keiichi. I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mom made me each morning, that was probably the only way I could the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that was what you'd call my rebellious phase. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up early every day to make. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Mindful of the time, Mom rushed me along with a wide grin. Isn't it about time to meet up with Rena-chan? Rena. Hurry, Rena. Who's Rena? Rena, okay. Rena's that one girl. Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Rena is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people coming to meet me every day without fail. The way I look at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. But, well, keeping a classmate keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously. Though, how long does Rena wait there for me every morning? Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I raced for the door. Please thank Rena-chan for the pickles. Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought. They were store-bought, were they? If I'd known that, I would have savored them a bit more. Morning. No. In the anime, she's really creepy. She's creepy a lot. Good morning. Sometimes I feel like everyone just walks around with like weapons and stuff. They just have weapons like everywhere. Because in when they cry, it's just weapons. They just pull weapons out of nowhere and start killing people. It's like makes no sense. Keiichi-kun, good morning. Her cheerful greeting was as fresh as the morning itself. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometimes. If I sleep in, I'll keep you waiting. She's so considerate and such a good person. If that ever happens, I'll just leave you behind. Keiichi-kun, you're so cold. I wait for you all the time. I'll leave you in the dust. Without looking back. I'll leave you in the dust without looking back, okay. Why are you so mean? Why? Rena had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changes. I'm kidding. I'll wait for you. Yeah. Just, hope her mood doesn't, change where she, like, pulls out a knife or something, I don't know. With those words, Rena seemed to relax. Her face flushed bright red. Thank you. I'll wait forever until you came, Rena. No matter how long. Forever? Rena turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. Imagine if that actually happens in real life. Just like steam starts coming out of your head and stuff like. And also if your nose bleeds like it does in anime, it goes, then she's especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease. Have you ever read a romance novel, Rena? Huh? I haven't. Never read any before. From that response, I gathered she was interested in them, but was too embarrassed to actually buy one. I couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out. Oh yeah, message from my mom. She says thanks for the pickles. It was nothing. You're welcome. How were they? Not too salty? They weren't that salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavor to them. It would have been fine to just be honest and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright. I'd like to ask something before that. Were you the one who picked them, Rena? Or was it your mom? Huh? Why do you ask? Were they too salty? Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically. Was it you, Rena, or was it your mom? Why are you asking who made them? Why? Depending on who made them, my opinion of them might change drastically. Huh, huh, huh? She counted frantically on her fingers, trying to remember the amount of salt she'd used to pickle them. It was like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst probably the worst. Guys like me. Rena nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response. It was me. Delicious. Huh? Pretty good. Just like the last one. Just like the last ones. They went perfectly with the rice. Her face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. It truly was a lot of fun to tease her. I pray that Rena never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife. Keep at it, Rena. I'll train you until you handle it like the average person, or so I decided for myself. Let's go. If we keep Mion waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. Seeing as she just keeps spacing out, otherwise, I called Rena back to reality so we could make our way to school. The strange, easily flustered girl is Rena Ryugu. I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realize it's not her name that's strange. Her name is pretty strange though. Micha. That's weird. It's like that thing. I don't know what that thing is for. Michan, or something like that. I don't know. Good morning. Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved. It's Mion. Ah, finally, you two. Finally, you two are late. Usually you're the one who's late. In sharp contrast to the diligent Rena, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. Mion has a sister named Shion, and Shion's like a lot cooler than Mion. She's Mion Sonozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class. Morning, Rena, and it's been a while, Kei-chan. Why are you How many years? I was only off 2 days. Aha! You don't say! You were so much cuter back then. Mion's gaze started at my chest and dropped straight down, focusing on the point between me and left. So she was saying it was like... Okay. Before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her. I've grown quite splendidly. You'd be surprised. Not only is he bigger, but he has a little mustache now. Being so engorged with energy every morning is quite a problem though. I'll introduce you next time, so be sure to greet him properly. Don't say next time right now, it's just... Don't say next time, right now is just fine. How about letting the little guy get a breath of fresh morning air? I don't think I've ever heard I don't think I've ever heard talk so dirty you could smell it fouling up the morning air before. Mion surely does act like an old man sometimes. Gotcha. Time for the big reveal. Hope you don't regret it. As my hand reaches for my fly, Rena begins to ramble in a near panic. Hey! What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Red-faced and flustered, Rena tried to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about. Yeah, she knew exactly what we were talking about. How was it? Seeing the city again? Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changed the topic to something more befitting the pleasant morning. I only went for a funeral. I didn't have much time. So yeah, did you look for it? That thing I asked for? You're not listening at all. I just came back from a funeral. I didn't have any time to look around in toy stores. Toy stores and the hobby shops are completely different, you know. It's really difficult to get Western stuff around here after all. Is this about games again, Mi-chan? Mion nodded proudly as Rena giggled. Yep, I wanted Kei-chan to bring me back to West. I wanted Kei-chan to bring me back a Westport catalog, you see. Westport was short for Western Imported Games. Using that abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky. You can just get them to send you one in the mail, can't you? Well, I guess I have to now. I'm going to get another game full of hot action. But this time I'd like a game that's easy to understand. Mion is a board and card game enthusiast. And I hear she's collected quite a lot of different ones. According to Rena, Mion's room has kind of become a museum for domestic and foreign games. If there's a game you think I'd understand, let me play too. Heh, of course. If Kei-chan is up for it, I should warn you though, you're pretty tough. Just what I want. I play all sorts of games. I don't intend to lose. Whoa. Then we'll let you in the group next time, I guess. Bristling with joy from head to toe, Rena looked back and forth between me and Mion. Mion gave her an affirmative wink, and her expression parked up even further. I thought boys preferred playing outside more, so I figured you wouldn't want to. Rena laughed happily. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I had moved here less than a month ago. I understood that they did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel at home. I have to try harder to fit in, so they won't feel like they have to try to make me feel welcome. I feel like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, it should probably be about right for this place. So, they're in a game club. This game takes place in like 19 something? I don't know. It said it at the beginning of the game, but like it went by so fast. Hinamizawa was a really small village. Not only was there only one school, but there was only one class. It's a pretty big school, so why only have one class? Look how big it is. Like, in this whole school, It's like, let's see, so it's a school, and like it has an outside area. It has like restrooms outside as well. It has like a whole lot of stuff, but it looks like a pretty big school. It's not big, but I feel like it should have more classrooms. What are you doing with all the extra space you have in there? And the classroom is not that big. That class encompassed all different grades and ages. There were about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. I'm told that long ago there used to be a bigger school building, and they had actual separate classes. However, it seems nothing happened that made it become a single class, and now it stayed that way out of tradition. Something happened. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I've already gotten quite used to it. Hold on, let me just quickly save. There we go. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. With such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school. Not that that was a big thing. Not that was a bad thing. Mion, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead, right in front of the classroom door. So I was meant to slide the door open and enter the room first. Too bad I wasn't going to fall for that again. To think you'd give up the lead here. You meant for this to be a test of my skills. Mion chuckled with an empty smirk on her face. Okay? What is it, you guys? Step back, Rana. It's dangerous. She's here. Huh? Then Satoko-chan is... Oh, Satoko. That person. The blonde girl? Yeah, it's the blonde girl. Her name was Satoko Hojo, whatever. She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid. The way she talked was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just that. The real problem was this. Quite the obvious trap, a blackboard eraser wedged in the door. It's too obvious, Satoko. A hearty laugh came from beyond the door. Excellent, Kei-chan. I guess that means you win this round. No, this is Satoko we're talking about. I doubt this is it. After falling for such intricate traps, since the day I transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Satoko liked to combine a variety of traps. Traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one. Traps that relentlessly kept coming at you like a sadistic Rub Goldberg machine. The list goes on. As well as being clever, they almost never misfire. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape, no time to relax. By the look of it, this eraser is normal. No rocks or anything in it. I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day. What? So then, why don't you just open the door and let it drop? That's what it is. That's what Satoko is after. Make me focus my attention upwards, so I lifted my hand to the door. There were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handle with tape, a frightening trap, a potent and terrifying trap, concealed by using the blackboard eraser. An impressive combination, Satoko. But in the end, nothing more than the trivial, whatever that is, of a child. Assured of my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. I felt something strange at my ankle. It was similar to the sensation of a jump rope catching on my leg. By the time I realized, she had me hook, line, and sinker. It was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picture manner. Kei-chan, watch out! Instinctively reacting to Mion's shrill warning, I twisted my body in midair before I landed on the floor. Ow, ow, ow! An inkstone filled to the brim was placed right where I would have landed. I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it. My, what do we have here? A fair morning to you, Kei-chan, or Keiichi-chan, or Keiichi-san, Keiichi, whatever. Keiichi-san, aren't we a lively one this morning? Still sprawling in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice. That was a step up from your usual traps, Satoko. I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. You're quite unlucky this morning. She's creepy. She's even more creepy in here than in the anime. You little... Ow, ow. It seemed I'd inadvertently sprained my back a little when I landed. Better than landing on the inkstone. Ah. Oh, her. Small hand gently rubs my head. Pain, go away. The small dainty hand continues to gently stroke my head. You didn't sprain your back or anything, did you? If you rub it like this, the pain disappears. I thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, thanks Rika-chan. The pain's going away now. Rika! Yay! Rika-chan, good morning! Good morning to you, Rena. A good morning to all. Rika-chan greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. It was infectious. Rena, Mion, and I all bowed back. You're such a good kid, Rika-chan. So much better than Satoko. I glared over in her direction. Satoko was whistling, or rather deliberately trying to avoid eye contact. I am the very model of a good girl. A good girl wouldn't set those nasty traps. Nothing but lies and slander. Exactly what proof. I picked up Satoko by the back of her collar. She looks like a misbehaved cat when I do this. But a cat wouldn't be setting a trap. Wouldn't be setting traps. She's much harder to deal with. I'm sorry. Try saying that. I don't know. If you won't say it, I cocked my index finger to my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Satoko's forehead. I'm against violence. You don't even have any proof. Just so you know, my forehead flick really hurts. It can split plywood right in half. Eek! Stop! Get away from me, you beast! Don't say that in a way people will misunderstand. A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt. She's been lonely since you were gone for 2 days. Rika-chan really is just so. How could I do anything more after being told that gently released my grip on Satoko, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick. Ooh, it doesn't bother me. You mustn't cry, Satoko. Keep on fighting. Yeah. Rika gently petting the head of her prankster friend. You would never guess those two are the same age. I think Satoko could learn a thing or a million from Rika-chan. Actually, technically, Rika's mind is older than everyone. Yeah. Because she's stuck in a time loop. Next time set an even more amazing trap. Wait a minute! As she observed the scene, Rena's expression grew ecstatic as she began to swoon. How? Satoko-chan is crying! So cute! You can't take them home. Huh? But they're so cute. You can't, no matter how cute they are. But just for a bit. It's fine. It's fine. Rena kept a cutesy face even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. According to Mion, Rena is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tries to take them home. Object or person. Stealing is bad, but abducting people is even worse. Give it up. Then I can just look. Just looking. That should be fine, right? Right? Rena swooned over Satoko's crying form. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to turn Rena in to the authorities. Forgive me, Rena. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away. The teacher's coming. Quickly, clean everything up. Satoko, that inkstone is yours, right? Just from Mion's single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbtack stuck to the door handle were an even bigger problem. I pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Satoko was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bedlam from before had been neatly tidied up. Ahaha, we made it in time. Rise, attention. Mion gave out the morning commands. It's difficult being the teacher for all of these different grades in one classroom. She has to teach something different to each one. But naturally, she ends up spending all her time with the younger kids. Rena and Mion, being in the highest grade in the class, end up mostly doing self-study. They even end up helping teach the younger kids, so it seems like they can never get they can never get to their own studies. They're actually way behind where my studies have progressed to. As a result, I'm pretty much taking over for the teacher and helping Rena and Mion with their studies. You're a pretty good teacher, Keiichi-kun. Easy to understand. Rena took a breather after finishing highlighting an important section. Teaching is making me lose confidence. It makes me aware of how shallow my understanding of the subject is. Save. Menu. Save that there. Well guys, I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, because I am ending the video here. I'll continue the game some other time. This is only chapter 1, so that's all we're gonna be playing. It's a really good game. I really like it. I was hoping we could get to murder this video, but it's already almost an hour long. Hopefully next episode, there's gonna be some murder. Yes. So either way, guys, I hope you liked the video. Hold up, let me just quickly go back to the main menu. Okay, so guys, I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And I, of course, will see you all, guys, in the next video. Peace out. ねえあなたには見えないことばかり私は見えてることを知らないの背中につけられた誰かのキスの後一人じゃ買うわけのないそれも見て見ぬふりなだけ笑っちまうほどにキュッと